If you want to get strong, but also want to be able to run further, run faster, get fitter, but you're just not really sure what you should be doing in the gym, then your prayers are answered, my friend. Because in this video, I'm going to walk you through a full session that you could go and do tomorrow if you so wish. Now, the session I'm going to walk you through is actually one I've taken from a previous video, and that's the 12 weeks from zero to hero in the gym, so if you haven't watched that, then make sure to go back and give it a watch. Now, before I get into it, I think it's important to note that if you're unsure of what you should be doing in the gym, then full body sessions are going to be a really good way to go about it. It's going to allow you to get all the major movement patterns into the session, meaning you're less likely to suffer from DOMS and fatigue. DOMS is short for delayed onset muscle soreness, aka not being able to walk for days after leg day. This means that you can pretty much get the same amount of work per body part, but it's just split up over 3 sessions per week, rather than smashing each body part in one. Now, as I mentioned in the 12 weeks from zero to hero in the gym video, you can literally repeat this one session 2 or 3 times a week till you get comfortable with it, and at that point you could then add another one. However, without further ado, let's get in about it. And by the way, we are back at West Coast Barbell. So I've actually made it super easy for you, and I have written it on the board. Don't worry about the other gobbledygook on the board. We just need to focus on this, full body, and this is going to be the session. As you can see, we've got goblet squats, bench press, seated row, hamstring curls, tricep rope extension, and dumbbell bicep curl. Essentially, the A, B, C, D, E1, E2 means that these are straight sets. Now what you could do, if you wanted to, is superset this, so make that B1, B2. Essentially a superset means that you're pairing 2 exercises together, so you have little to no rest between them, so you're going straight from bench press into seated row. But for this, because it's full body, I'm well aware you might be doing it in the gym, I've kept it as straight sets just to make it a little bit easier. Apart from the last bit, tricep rope extensions, dumbbell bicep curl, which should be easy enough to superset, but you don't have to. And the other thing that I would note is really you want to be performing each exercise at a 3-0-1-0 tempo, which essentially means that you're lowering for 3 seconds and back to the top for 1. But I'll walk you through that as we go. So first up, we've got goblet squats. Over there, the dumbbells go to 50, so I'm not actually sure that they'll have any heavy enough, but I'm sure I'll manage. A goblet squat simply means that you're holding the dumbbell in front of you and then you're performing a squat. Tempo, we want to go 3 seconds down, 1 up. So that's going to look like 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, etc. And the benefit of goblet squats, especially if you're sort of unsure what you're doing in the gym, is going to mean that you can go to the corner, you can go to the dumbbell section, and you're not having to sort of grab a rack and do back squats. That's one benefit. Also, the second benefit of goblet squats is that because the weight's in front of you, it's a very good way to learn the movement. So the dumbbell actually acts as a bit of a counterbalance. It's a lot easier to get depth in the back squat. So I found goblet squats are a really good exercise to be able to go into the gym. I generally like to do them first because it's going to be one of the exercises you can lift more weight with. And if you can sort of gradually build up through the dumbbells to sort of 30 kilos, then by that point you're going to be very ready to go on to back squats. So that's goblet squats. 3 sets of 10 to 12 is what we're obviously going for. And I haven't put rest onto that actual thing, but I would rest between each set and each exercise around about 90 seconds. That's going to be a good sort of time period to be able to rest and then go into the next set or the next exercise. So the next exercise is going to be bench press. This is going to be a good pushing exercise. As you would have seen in previous videos, the bench press is going to be a horizontal press. So a vertical press would be overhead, something like a shoulder press, dumbbell shoulder press, barbell shoulder press. Here, we're going to have a bench press, which is going to be a horizontal press. You could use dumbbells if you'd rather. Again, that might keep you out of the big scary squat racks or bench press area, but you'll be absolutely fine. Bench press, 3 sets of 10 to 12 is going to be the goal. I'm going to try and demonstrate this. My shoulder still isn't that great, and I've not actually tried a bench press yet, so we'll see how it goes. Oh. So I'm not actually going to be able to demonstrate that, but for the setup position, you want to be able to lie back, you want to think about pulling your shoulder blades down and back, want to bring our feet nice and close into our body. That's going to mean that you can push your feet into the ground, you can then push your bum into the bench, push your upper back into the bench, and that gives you more to press from. And from there, you're just going to go just wider than shoulder width. You're going to bring the bar up and out, lower, touch your chest, press up. Again, 3 seconds down, 1 to press. That is the barbell bench. Again, you could use dumbbells if you'd rather. I found for beginners, you're probably better using a bar. Reason being, dumbbells the instability can sort of throw you off a little bit, whereas this, you can get used to the movement and go to dumbbells. Although, if you want to use dumbbells, if you're used to using dumbbells, then be my guest. So next up, this is going to be seated row. And tempo-wise, what we're going to do here is add a slight pause. So I'm going to row for 1, pause for 1, and then take 2 seconds to lower it back. Chest up, 1 to row, 1 pause, a couple of seconds to lower. 1 row, 1 pause, a couple of seconds to lower. 1 row, 1 pause, a couple of seconds. But with any rowing exercise, the back is going to be the target muscle. And what I see a lot of people doing is rowing too much with their arms and not really feeling their back working. So a really useful hack for this is, rather than having your hand right around and gripping it with your thumb, try a thumbless grip. So you're imagining your hands as hooks. Rather than having your thumbs round, we're going thumbless. And that allows you to imagine your hands as hooks, and it means you probably feel your back working more than you would with your thumbs gripping the bar. So next up, we've got a hamstring curl. This is a lying hamstring curl, so it's going to be slightly different to potentially what's in your gym, but any form of hamstring curl will be absolutely fine. As an example, my gym doesn't have a hamstring curl, so I actually do hamstring curls on a Swiss ball, but if you can, machine is going to be best. So here, this is now in position, lying down. Again, 1 to curl, maybe a slight pause at the top, 3 to lower as much as possible. Hamstring curls, box ticked. Shit. Don't know if you can see that, single leg only. Don't tell the management. And final bit of this session, we have a superset. We've got tricep rope extensions into dumbbell bicep curls. As I said at the start, you don't necessarily need to superset these. I quite like supersetting arms, especially, as I've talked about in previous videos, antagonistic supersets. So you're working opposing muscle groups, AKA triceps and biceps. Let's get it. So first up, tricep rope extension. This might be a slightly different / longer rope to what you've got in the gym. I would say in an ideal world, if you've got ropes in your gym, 2 of each on the same handle is going to look something like this, and I actually prefer this because it gives you more space to open up as you go, rather than one rope can almost seem pretty tight. But simply grabbing the rope, elbows at your sides, press down, split the rope as you go. On that exercise, you want to avoid overly rounding forward and using your shoulders as momentum. You want to try and keep our shoulders pulled back, triceps working. Think about straightening your arm as much as you can every single time, squeezing your triceps at the bottom and then back up into bicep curls. Again, shoulders not that great, so I've got 7s here, very, very cute. Here, you can do single arm, you can do double arm. I'm going to do single arm and save the shoulder. I usually quite like to hold on something for a little bit of balance, but again, straight arm at the bottom. The way that I would see this is squeeze your tricep at the bottom so you know your arm's totally straight. Curl up, little pause, control down. Screw your side on, straight arm at the bottom, curl up, control down. And it's important that this is nice and controlled. You're not just swinging like this. Think control, tempo, 1 up, slight pause, 2 to 3 seconds on the way down. And there you have it, a full body session that covers all the bases, meaning you've got something that you can go into the gym with, you can follow, and you can see progress with straight off the bat. Boy oh boy, am I good to you. For more tips and tricks, click the link below for a month worth of absolute gold completely for free. And if you'd like to know anything more about the program, then feel free to drop me a message or click the link below to apply to the program. See you next week.